Supervisor Training Program. Throughout this course, I'll be teaching you what you need to know to safely supervise those who operate mobile elevating work platforms, or MEWPS. In this first module, Introduction to MEWPS Supervisor Training, you will learn what supervisor training is, identify the ANSI A92 standard supervisors need to know, and define some of the different roles and responsibilities of people you may be supervising. Let's get started.
ANSI has created standards that guide supervisors and should be a part of training for all MEWPS supervisors, mobile elevated work platforms. This training covers the requirements as given in the ANSI A92 standards. These are the ANSI 92.2 design calculations and safety requirements, and test methods for MEWPS, ANSI 92.2 safe use of all MEWPS, and ANSI 92.24 training requirements of those operations. For the operation, inspection, testing, and maintenance of MEWPS. Now we're going to click on each standard.
ANSI Standard A92.20 is intended to serve as a guide for manufacturers, remanufacturers, engineers, and designers of MEWPS to achieve the following objectives: prevent accidents and personal injuries, establish criteria for design, manufacture, remanufacture, rebuild, recondition, testing, and performance, and establish and provide an understanding of the responsibilities of manufacturers, remanufacturers, engineers, and designers of their responsibilities. ANSI Standard A92.22 is intended to specify requirements to achieve the following objectives: prevent accidents, personal injuries, and property damage. Establish requirements for application, inspection, training, maintenance, repair, and safe operation. Establish and provide an understanding of the respective responsibilities of manufacturers, dealers, owners, users, supervisors, operators, occupants, lessors, lessees, and brokers, and promote the safe use of MEWPS. ANSI Standard A92.24 is intended to provide methods and guidelines to achieve the following objectives: prevent personal injuries and accidents, define thorough and consistent training, understand training and familiarization requirements, and establish and provide an understanding of the respective responsibilities of manufacturers, dealers, owners, users, supervisors, operators, occupants, lessors, lessees, and brokers. ANSI has defined different entities that may be involved in MEWP operation. Understanding these entities can help you identify the role and responsibility that each has. The ANSI A92 standard uses the terms occupant, operator, supervisor, and user to help identify the roles and responsibilities for each. Click each entity to learn more.
So these are all different. The entity on the work platform is the occupant. That's a qualified occupant. They are not responsible for the operation of the vehicle. The operator is the actual licensed person that will be operating the MEWP. The occupant's only job is to be able to get the MEWP down in case there's an emergency. The supervisor would be somebody that the company or site designates as the person watching these people. And then the user is the person who actually rents or owns the piece of equipment.
How does ANSI define each entity? Drag the entity to its role, and then click Submit. Training requirements. This supervisor training is one of these requirements. As a supervisor, you must ensure that the workers you supervise have the tools they need to do a job safely and efficiently. This is good for workers and the business. To do this, you must know several things about the people you are supervising and the job you are performing. The supervisor training requirement in the ANSI standard helps to ensure that supervisors of MEWP operators have the knowledge needed to properly supervise workers using the MEWPS. Click the Topics button to see what topics this training will be covering. During this training, you will learn about these topics: how to select the correct MEWP for the work to be performed, the rules, regulations, and standards that apply to MEWPS, including the provisions for safe use as defined in ANSI A92.22, training and familiarization, and the work being performed, potential hazards associated with the use of MEWPS, and the means to protect against identified hazards, knowledge that the manufacturer's operation manuals are an integral part of the MEWP and need to be stored properly in the weather-resistant compartment on the MEWP. In this first module of the MEWPS Supervisor Training Program, Introduction to Supervisor Training, you have learned what supervisor training is, identified the ANSI A92 standard supervisors need to know, and defined some of the different roles and responsibilities of people you may be supervising. In the next module, you'll learn to identify a mobile elevating work platform and how to classify the different MEWPS based on the ANSI classifications.